I just went to go and try and find an outfit that had bees on it for our story today, but I failed miserably, so I've gone for butter. That was the chair, that wasn't me. Sorry about that noise. But I found a dress that has butterflies on it, so I mean, that's just as good, isn't it? Today's story is the Bumble Bear. Once there was a bear called Norman who loved honey. He really, really, really loved it. And he was always sad when it ran out. But getting hold of more honey was always a bit tricky. If only I could be a bee, he sighed. I could have as much honey as I liked. Look, why is it tricky? He's poking the beehive with a stick and all the bees are whizzing out and chasing him away. And then Norman had quite an amazing, brilliant idea. It was an ordinary morning at bee school. "Hello, bees," said the queen who was in charge. "We have a new bee today at bee school." "Ooh," said the little bees. "Everyone say hello too." "Norman." "Hello," said Norman. "Ooh," said the little bees. They're looking at him a little bit funny, aren't they? "Aren't you a bit big?" asked Amelia, who was a rather clever little bee. I'm a special bee," said Norman. "I come from a land far, far away called Giant Bee Land." Said Amelia. But then it was time for lessons to start. They began the day with some painting. Then Norman joined in with some buzzing practice before everyone settled down for a nap. The bees showed him all sorts of games to play during playtime, and Norman was brilliant at waggle dancing. Who knows what waggle dancing is? Do you know? Waggle dancing is how bees communicate with other bees. So they'll whiz around and they'll find some flowers that are good for making honey, and then they'll dance. And they dance in the shape of a number. Let me try and do one. What shape do you think? Yeah, it's a figure of 8. That's how they dance. And then the other bees will zoom along and they'll see a bee above a flower doing the dance, and then they'll know to go there for a good flower to make honey. And then it was time to go home. Bee school is amazing, thought Norman, and he couldn't wait to come back the next day. The next morning was even better. Norman was very good at finding smelly flowers. The bees really liked him. He was so funny and friendly, and he always tried his best, even during flying lessons. Oh dear, look, why can't he fly? That's right, because actually, if we have a look back, he's actually a bear, isn't he? Dressed up like a bee. He's tricking all the other bees. After lunch, the bees learned how to chase away anyone who came after their honey, like spiders, mice, toads, or bears. This is where Norman has got a little bit stuck. He's being taught how to chase away bears who are trying to steal honey, but actually he is a bear. Amelia still felt that there was something a little bit odd about Norman. She tried to work out what it was. Uh-oh, she's found a book. Gasp! She's gone, bears steal honey, smell bad, and roar lots. Oh no, she's found out the truth. Amelia told the other bees what she'd found out, but they didn't believe her. "Of course Norman's a bee," they said. "Just look at him." "He is not a bee, and I shall prove it," said Amelia. Oh dear, look how grumpy she is there. That's because she knows the truth and everybody else is not believing her. She took Norman to the bees' secret honey store. Well, when he saw all that honey, Norman just couldn't help himself. Honey, 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 honey. It's like he's in heaven, look. All that honey. Oh dear, he's going to be tempted to eat it, isn't he? And then they're going to know that he's definitely not a bee. Oh, after all, he really loved honey. See, Norman isn't a bee, he's a bear, said Amelia. What the chickens, gasped all the little bees. Humph, said Norman. He was asked to leave bee school at once. Oh, what a sad page, look. He's even crying, look, he's got some little tears. Because he can't go back to bee school. It's because he lied. With Norman gone, things were really quiet around bee school. Norman was such a funny bee, sighed the bees. Norman was such a busy bee, sighed Amelia. Norman was a naughty bear, said the Queen, and bee school is no place for bears. Oh, even though he lied to them, they're feeling a bit disappointed, aren't they? Because they've lost a friend there. But later that night, the bees heard a loud crash and a diabolical roar. Oh no, they cried. It's a bear. Let's go for 2 pages. And this bear was big and nasty and trampled all over bee school. It grabbed the hive and started to shake it. Bears really do that. They grab hives and they shake it so that all the bees come out. Then they can get to the honey. The bees tumbled out in panic. They tried to chase away the bear, but it was just too big and too bad. But then, who can spot who's coming to the rescue? Looks like a little alien, doesn't it? It's not. But then, a fearsome buzzing beast burst through the trees. Buzz! Eek! Squealed the bear, and it ran away as fast as he could. It's a giant bee! Is it a giant bee? No, it's Norman, but the bear doesn't know that. Gosh, he'd be really frightened, wouldn't he, if he really saw a giant bee like that? The bees were saved and Norman was a hero. They gave him a big pot of honey and the Queen presented him with a special award. You definitely aren't a bee, said the Queen, but you are no ordinary bear. You are, I think, a Bumble bear. Bumble bears were definitely allowed to go back to bee school. That was a great story. Really, if Norman had just told the truth right from the start that he wanted to go to school, I think that the bees might have let him in. See you again soon for another story. Bye everyone and enjoy your day.